Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is qualifying for race number 21 in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Nashville Super Speedway. Gonna be 7 p.m. tomorrow night, the Cracker Barrel 400. One of my favorite races of the season, one of the most unique races on the circuit because hardly anybody else in NR 2003 comes here. We've been coming here every single season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Later tonight, the Rockstar Pro Series makes their first ever start here at Nashville. But right now, it's uncharted qualifying for the Cracker Barrel 400. Top two fastest drivers in this 5-minute session will advance on and race tomorrow night in the 60-lap event around this 1 1/3 mile racetrack in Nashville, Tennessee. Number 46, Angel Olvera, the first driver out on the racetrack. And I believe it still stands that all of his starts this season have been top 5. He has done a great job in the races he has competed in so far this season. There's Stephen Thompson in number 97. I'm trying to think, did Stephen Thompson recently win a race? No. I think he might have been up there, though, in the Rockstar Pro Series race at Daytona 2 weeks ago. He will be in that race later tonight. There's Julio Caesar in the number 10 machine coming out on the racetrack there. Colton Yo in the 98. Zachary DeLello is also going to be in the Rockstar Pro Series race later tonight, so I'll have to see what he can do in that one. So will Daniel Voiles, and that's it. Those are the only three: Stephen Thompson, Zach DeLillo, and Daniel Voiles, who are part-time drivers in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, who also race in the Rockstar Pro Series. Here's Stephen Thompson, who's going to be the second driver to complete a full lap under speed. And while this track is smaller than Kentucky, the lap times here are actually a couple seconds slower than they are at Kentucky. So this race is actually going to take longer than Kentucky, even if it goes green flag the whole way through. That race at Kentucky last week, I believe, was the fastest race of the season, even faster than Road America was. Because we went caution-free in it and had a lot of passing. We really didn't need it to be any longer with all the passing we had in that thing. And Matthew Phillips came home with the victory last week. So it's his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. He's in the All-Star race. It's one last shot to get into the All-Star race before these guys have to go to the Open and then depend on the fan vote. But that's going to be next Friday night right here on Napa Fan. We're going to do the whole thing in one video this year, actually. I decided to change my mind on kind of splitting the videos up. It'll all start at 8 p.m. next Friday night right here on Napa Fan. The Chick-fil-A Open, qualifying, and the Chick-fil-A All-Star Race. We might do the qualifying first. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. And we'll have a lot of fun next Friday night at the Eldora Speedway. Stephen Thompson and Angel Olvera currently the two fastest drivers. The times get a little bit faster as the session goes along, and you're going to see that right there with Julio Caesar going to second. It's Thompson and Caesar currently the two drivers in the positions to advance on. And Angel Olvera, the first driver, out right now. This is an old surface, so tire wear will come into play in this race. It came into play quite a bit last year. We had a late caution. Some guys stayed out. Some guys took 4 tires on the pit stop under the caution. And the one guy who did take tires was Brad Stover. And he drove around everyone to win his second career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race here last year. Another fun fact about Brad Stover, he has never won on a currently used NASCAR Cup racetrack. His wins have actually, well, Cup racetrack. Yeah, I said Cup. He won at Canadian Tire last year, won Nashville last year, and then he won Rockingham, North Carolina this year. None of those tracks are used on the Cup circuit in this day and age. How about Julio Caesar? He went to the top of the board right there, just ahead of Stephen Thompson, but does not change who advances on. But now it's Thompson on the bubble in the number 97, so we'll have to see how that affects him here. Colton Yo's another guy trying to push his way in. You see him right there behind Julio Caesar. 62, Christian Russell. It's going to put Stephen Thompson outside the top 2. And a great run there for Christian Russell, looking to advance on once again. The first part of this season, you guys might remember, he could not make a race to save his life for American Motorsports, and if he were to make it into this one, I think it'd be his 6th of the season. He's been really doing a good job in these Uncharted qualifying sessions up to this point, and it looks like he is going to make it in the number 62. So with that, it is going to be Julio Cesar and Christian Russell. Any drivers completing their laps right now will be able to clock their times in. Oliveira not going to do anything. Here comes Daniel Voiles and Zachary DeLello. DeLello might have enough of a push there. He had a bit of a draft there on Voiles, but it's not going to be enough for him. And then it's Russell, the next guy in line, and then Nick Smith, who crossed the line after the clock reset, so his time cannot stand, even if it were faster. So that's going to do it. How about that for those guys right there? Julio Cesar and Christian Russell advancing on to the big show here from Nashville, the Cracker Barrel 400. The last race before the All-Star race, so one last chance to make it into the All-Star race on a win. We'll have to see who gets the pole position. And passing here is difficult, but we will see some passes for the race lead, I do believe. It's a fun racetrack because it's not like we saw last week in Kentucky where they're passing every single lap. You have to work on a guy to get a pass made, but it's very possible to do so. Where you start is going to mean a lot more than it did last week. So this qualifying session is going to mean quite a bit, especially if you're someone like Nathan Baird. You don't want to be starting deep in the field because you want to keep that 50-some point lead that you have. So we'll have to see how it all goes down. Let's get the pole qualifying for the Cracker Barrel 400 here from Nashville. And here we go to set the starting lineup for the Cracker Barrel 400 from Nashville. Going to be an interesting one right here. And Jesse Turner going to be the first driver out on the racetrack. Congratulations to Jesse Turner on his 17th career Napa Fan win. That came in the Craftsman Throwback Series last week in Michigan. I have yet to record the Craftsman Throwback Series that you guys saw yesterday yet, so he might have won that one too, but great to see Jesse Turner get a race victory. He almost won this race, I think, in season number 5, I would like to say. Yeah, I think it was season 5 he almost won here. Either that or season 4. But one of those two seasons he almost won this race and almost broke a long losing streak in the series to make it into the chase. Of course, Nashville hosted the last race before the chase up until the end of season 4. So that would have been season 4, I think, when he had that opportunity and missed it. He's going to complete a lap right here, 29.853. Pretty fast for a first lap. The first laps we were seeing in the Uncharted session were in the 30s. Tristan Allen right behind him, going to get a fast one in right there. And as we'll see these guys, they will improve their times as this session rolls along here at Nashville because get just a little bit faster the warmer your race car is. So it's about lap 2, lap 3, lap 4, the fastest times these guys are going to set, and then they're going to start to fall off just a little bit. Daytona winner, Christian Master from 2 weeks ago with the fastest time right now, but Tristan Allen going to take that back from him in the number 3. Yeah, Marzak there in 3rd. Turner, Christian Russell, Riley Spurley, Mark Davidson, Alonso, Andrew Miller, and Roger Ray. And one thing we have to watch out, we're going to actually have more frequent pit stops than we normally have been seeing this season. It's going to be on the 3X for Nashville tomorrow night. And one thing, if we get a long green flag run and green flag pit stop, something you got to watch out for is guys coming off the pit lane. They wrap around the corners and come off down the backstretch. And sometimes they do not merge properly, so they got to be careful doing that. We've actually seen some cautions occur here at Nashville because of guys failing to merge back on the racetrack correctly. I can remember Matt Delia being involved in one of those back in the day. Some guys who are looking pretty fast right now include Jesse Turner and Tristan Allen, but it's now Roger Ray who holds the top position with Tristan Allen, Michael Canto, John Arndt, and then Riley Spurley. Now Andrew Miller up to the 5th position in the number 47. There's Matt Gallio there in the 79. I want to say he's won here before, but I think that was in the Truck Series. Yeah, it was in the Truck Series, I believe, when he won here. Season 2, I think, of the Napa Truck Series. Riley Spurley just took the top position from Roger Ray right there. And now it's Roger Ray in second. Diego Yepes, John Arndt, and now Justin Roberts going to the 5th position with Turner, Friesen, Julius Anderson, Wyatt Quayle, and last week's winner, Matthew Phillips. Another mine for that one. The number 13 of Sebastian Kukulon just went to the top of the board, and this is a huge one for Kukulon because he wants to be in an all-star race, and I can definitely tell he's a great driver, one of the more popular drivers, hint, hint right there. And he is right now the fastest guy here in qualifying. We're going to see where the guy alongside him is our points leader by 57 points on Emily Anderson, Nathan Baird. 30th right now. That is not a good place to start at a place like Nashville. Emily Anderson, however, is 36th. So Nathan Baird really can't fall back too much on Emily Anderson, if that's the case. The guy who's now 3rd in the points is get this, Matthew Phillips, who won last week. 94 points behind. Then you got Justin Roberts, 98 points behind. And then a 3-way tie for 5th between Zachary Fitzwater, Sebastian Kukulon, and John Arndt. But they're all 99 points behind at this point, with only 9 races remaining in the season. It's pretty safe to say that it might be between Nathan Baird and Emily Anderson, only unless something drastic happens. Baird 36th right now. That's not good at all for him. But Kukulon's still fastest. Garrett Zenor has gone to 2nd in the meantime. Then it's Christian Master, the number 33 of Wyatt Quayle, Diego Yepes, Justin Roberts, Riley Spurley, Jesse Turner, last year's winner Brad Stover, and Roger Ray in the 24. But there is Kukulon in the number 13 machine. 29.126 with 4 minutes remaining. But I believe we're going to start seeing these times kind of wear off here. You got Master and Wyatt Quayle there inside the top 5. And no change in the top 10 that lap. Garrett Zenor has won here before in Nashville. It came... oh boy, I want to say it was Season 2. I'm pretty sure. You guys will see who won here in the past. Tomorrow, I should say. When we get the past winners on the leaderboard there. Not on the leaderboard, but in the text before we start the race. That's what I mean. And Christian Masters drafting right behind him is doing pretty good as well. Looking for his 2nd win of the season. Got the win in the Valvoline 400 earlier on. But another huge time for Garrett Zenor. He's been racking up some good runs, almost got the win at Kentucky, but ended up falling back midway through the field late in the going. But he was dominant at Kentucky. I believe he led the most laps in that race last week. But he's now coming to a place he's won at before, with what would hopefully be a good starting position for him in the 2nd position. So we'll have to see what Zenor can do here. I gotta be honest. I want to see this guy get 20 wins, because this could be the last season for him in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It's very possible. I want to see him get 20 wins before he would hang it up, because this guy deserves it. But either way, Kukulon also deserves the good run he's got right now. Currently the fastest driver here in qualifying, looking to start on the pole position. He's actually on the pit lane right now, but the way things are going, I really don't see these guys advancing their times too much. Nathan Baird, though, this could get really interesting. He is right now 38th fastest. He has not been doing good in qualifying as of late, but he's managed to whip up a couple of good runs. He finished midway through the field at Daytona, and then last week finished inside the top 10, or just outside the top 10, right around 10th. So that's why he's got a 57-point lead, but this isn't like Daytona or Kentucky where you move your way from the back to the front just like that. You have to work for it, and if Nathan Baird can get a top 10 tomorrow night, he's going to win the championship. I guarantee it. But if he finishes deep in the field, which is very possible he could with where he's currently running and qualifying, you might be seeing some guys behind him in the championship standings starting to make a run for it. But Nathan Baird has done an excellent job. He's been the point leader for quite some time here. I forget when he officially took it away. I want to say it was Dover, but I think right after the Coke 600, Mark Davidson might have taken it back from him. I can't quite remember, but just watch out for Nathan Baird tomorrow night. He could have a bad race, especially considering where he's starting. Had one guy, Josh Marzak, move up to 4th. Great run there for the American Motorsport driver. Trying to locate him on the racetrack here, and there he is in number 34. And Marzak's never won on a place other than a super speedway before, and this is, ironically enough, not a super speedway. Even though it's called a super speedway, it is an intermediate track, but it is not a super speedway. Daytona and Talladega Armory Digital would count, Coca-Cola would count as super speedways. And Marzak's wins have come in 2 Daytona 500s and a Talladega race he won back in Season 5. Those are the only 3 wins he has in his career on Napa Fan. All on super speedways, all in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. This season has not been too good to the Daytona 500 champion, though. Deep in the points coming into this race, and he's definitely out of championship contention. It was the opposite story in Season 5. If it weren't for the chase, he would have won the championship that year, actually. But he couldn't. Actually, that was the one season we didn't have a Rookie of the Year, and if we had the Rookie of the Year, he probably would have returned for Season 6, but we did not have a Rookie of the Year championship in Season 5, so he didn't end up returning in Season 6, and if he did return in Season 6, I think he probably would have made Season 7 as well, and then been a 4-season veteran coming into this one, but that wasn't the case, so, he's definitely shown us he's good in the Daytona 500, but other than that, he really has not shown much this season for American Motorsports, which is quite an unfortunate circumstance there for those guys. I was looking forward to seeing him get some good runs, and he got a good run at the start of the season, but since then it's not been all peaches and cream for the number 34 team. Number 13 of Sebastian Kukulon, though, it's peaches and cream for him. He's going to win the pole position for the Cracker Barrel 400. It's not peaches and cream. It's sausage, gravy, and biscuits. That's what it is for Sebastian Kukulon. So we'll go ahead and say that because it's the Cracker Barrel 400. And Kukulon with the pole position tomorrow night here at Nashville. 60 laps of action. It's going to be a lot of pit stops in the race, so you got to watch out for that. We're going to have a lot of pit stops. Well, a lot compared to a lot of the other races we've had recently, especially the past 2 races have actually not had any pit stops. This race will have quite a few. It's going to be 3X instead of 2X, so they're going to be making a few stops in tomorrow night's race. It's going to be interesting to see how the pit strategy plays out. No ties! Never mind. Ace Garcia and Andrew Miller tied there. We'll have to break that, but other than that, and Andrew Ross and Michael Canta, that we're going to have to break right there. I jumped the gun on saying there weren't any ties. That is how they will line up for tomorrow night's Cracker Barrel 400 from Nashville, 21st race of the season. Our points leader, Nathan Baird, starting 39th. He got an inside starting position, so that might help him a little bit. But he's still going to be very deep in the field for the Cracker Barrel 400. We'll have to see how that all shakes out tomorrow night. Also another tie there between McMillan and Stapleton. We'll have to break that as well. But other than those ties, that is how they will line up for the Cracker Barrel 400. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. In less than an hour, we got ourselves the Tennessee 65K from the Nashville Super Speedway in the Rockstar Pro Series. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Sebastian Kukulon, and I will see you guys later.